I'm Heather from booktubes, and today is badly explaining books and book plots using food metaphors. So I've had this video idea for a year or two. I was on some live show, I don't remember which one. I was doing one of my usual food analogies, metaphors, you know, saying like, these people are comparing this book to this, but really it's like this food, and you know, as I do. Because I love a good food metaphor. And Laura at Laura's Library Card was like, you should do a video where you explain an entire book just using food metaphors. And I was like, okay, I'll put it on the list. And I couldn't quite figure out how I wanted to make this video work. Like, I knew I liked the idea, but not exactly like that. And I was trying to figure out like how I can do this, but have it be an interesting video and make sense and like have enough to say and all of that. And I finally landed on a premise. I'm doing it. So this video goes out to Laura. Thank you for this idea so long ago. I hope it lived up to your expectations. So I'm not going to mention any book titles. The book covers will be on the screen. This isn't really, I mean, maybe you'll get a book recommendation from this, but probably not. All right, so this book is like that thing that you love at the fast food restaurant, and like it's your favorite order, it's your go-to order, it's delicious. But every once in a while you get one where the person who made it just did the worst job. It's so bad. It's like cold and mushy, or like overcooked, or the condiments are incorrect ratios. You know, it's like, it's a good thing, but it is a bad version of it. Okay, then this book is the food that you didn't think that you would like based on how it looks. It just does not look appetizing, right? Like the color is a bit weird. You can't tell what like the flavor or the sauce is supposed to be just by eyeballing it. It just kind of looks like a gloppy mess. But if you can get past that and you can try it, turns out is freaking delicious. It just looks bad. And this is when you go to a potluck and someone made your favorite dish. And then it turns out their recipe is just like a travesty to even be called by the same name. It's just like, what the frick is going on? What is this? Because I took like this big serving based on what I thought I was getting. And this first bite was disillusioning. Like, I no longer want this, but also the person who made it is sitting right over there. And so I need to like figure out how to not really eat this without making it obvious that this is not a thing I want to eat. Okay, this is like any delicious food, but they put raw tomatoes on it. Now I know some of you are like, even better. Sounds great. Where do I sign up? But for me, my time is ruined here. I was with you up until the raw tomatoes thing, and now I either have to try to like power my mind over matter and be like, they're not really there. Or I have to take them out, or I have to just avoid the whole thing, or like it's still okay, but I would have enjoyed it so much more without the raw tomatoes. But like, you as the author like raw tomatoes, so you put it in there. It's kind of like that. This is any food without seasoning. I am real white. I'm really white. I'm like the lightest shade of all the cosmetics. However, I am not that white. I love seasoned food. I love flavor. I love flavor on top of flavor on top of flavor. I just, give me more. More is more. I am not a subtle taste bud kind of girl. I want bold, in your face, too much for some people. I love it. I love a little flavor. And this is like the blandest thing you've ever had in your entire life. It's that chicken that is completely white. It's that rice that is completely white. Like there's nothing. Pepper, black salt and black pepper would be a welcome addition. I was at Thanksgiving dinner at my in-laws' house one time. And I sit down to the table and my mother-in-law goes, I didn't know everyone's taste, so I didn't salt and pepper anything. I just put it on the table. The horror, the horror that swept through my body. I was just like, if you don't understand how bad that is, I don't know how to tell you how bad that is. Like, we are not in the same book, much less on the same page. Okay, this is knowing what size you ordered, okay? If you ordered a small fry, why are you confused as to the amount of fries that you got, right? And then this is like a book that should have been a small fry, but they were like, no, I'm gonna make it a large fry. So they put the small fry serving inside the large fry container, and they're still only small fries, but we like spread them out to fit a large container. Follow me through this. And there was not enough material to have a large container. It needed to be a small container. It needed to be smaller, and you were like, no, super size. No, no, incorrect. This is like discovering a new favorite food and it's all you want. You want that specific combination every day of the week until you are completely over it and don't really want to taste it again, at least not for like the next 6 months straight. We need a break. It was everything I wanted. Now I've had too much of it and now I just need a break. It's not that it's bad. It's just as good as it always was. But I am just a little bit tired of having it every single day. Whereas before, yes, 24 hours later, it's time to eat it again. All right, this is a chocolate cake, but you are judging it like you would mac and cheese. There are some slightly similar elements, some slightly similar ingredients, but they are drastically different dishes, and they should not taste or have the consistency of, or have the same method of. They shouldn't be like each other. But you are acting like this chocolate cake is trying to be macaroni and cheese when it never made any claim that it was macaroni and cheese. It never tried to be macaroni and cheese. It was always destined to be chocolate cake. The author intended for it to be chocolate cake. So why are you over here eating chocolate cake and complaining that it's not macaroni and cheese? This is by far my biggest pet peeve in the entire bookish world. When you are rating a book based on something that it was never trying to be. It wasn't that. Why are you acting like it was supposed to be that? Ugh. This is mocha every time. It's a mocha coffee. It is your daily cup of coffee. It's the same every day, and it is the better for it. We don't want surprises in our coffee. We don't want some fun little twist. If I am drinking my coffee, I don't want to find anything unexpected in it. I don't want some surprise flavor. I don't want a little texture. I don't want anything except for what I am expecting. You can sometimes have various levels of how great the execution was on that expectation, but nonetheless is recognizable for what it is. It is exactly what you want day in and day out. If I come here for a cup of coffee, I'm gonna leave happy because you gave me what I wanted and it was within the quality control spectrum that I was expecting to have. Everybody's happy. It's a win-win-win. And if someone comes and complains about it, then maybe they're a tea person. But this is the coffee that we wanted. Don't change it. Don't change it. This is the infuriating experience. And this might be specific to people who cook, right? When you go out to eat, you go to a restaurant, you spend all this money, you spend all of this time to get this food, and then it ends up just being something that you could have made better at home. If you had made it on your stove or in your crock pot, it would have been significantly better. I don't know about you, but I love to order things when I'm out that, like, I'm not great at cooking. Like, I'm not gonna order something that I make a great version of it. I'm gonna order something that I either don't have the expertise, or I don't have the equipment, or the ingredients are such that, like, the rest of my family doesn't like it, so it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for me to make this whole big meal just to my taste, knowing I'm the only person in a family of 5 that will eat these ingredients, like that type of thing. I do not want to go out and spend my money and order something that I just, like, I could have made it so much better. This is overcooked chicken. Overcooked chicken, it looks fine until you're eating it, and then sometimes you can make your way through it, but the enjoyment is just not there. This is raw chicken. I'm going to try to not gag my way through this. But not only can you not enjoy it, but you also can't watch anyone else enjoy it because it's so disgusting. It's a level that nobody should be eating. No one should be consuming this, and you can't have a difference of opinion on it, at least not in your mind, because to you it's just like, it's a no for everybody. Can't be happy for you. Most of the time with food that I don't like, right, if you like it, that's totally fine. No big deal. I am never sitting there commenting about, oh, you got bacon. I don't like bacon. You got bacon. Like, oh. No, because your food is your food. And if you like something different from me, that's no big deal. But there are some things that cross the line. I just can't do it. All right, moving on with our lives from that. This is cilantro. The blessed people of the world love cilantro. Can't get enough of it. It is a wonderful addition to so many dishes. But then for some people who just lack taste, lack that part, that thing that makes them enjoyable, that makes them understand the good things of the world, to them it tastes like soap. It's bad. It makes everything worse. And then you are just over here enjoying your cilantro. Like, what is wrong with you? How can this be the thing in this book that you are complaining about? It's the best thing. This is eggnog. I've never tried it, but I have a lot of opinions about it. This is one of those where is it real or is it cake? And it's honestly hard to enjoy it if it is cake, because your first impression was that, like, shock of, why are you cutting that thing? So even though it might turn out to be a pretty good cake, you just are having a difficult time recognizing it for the goodness that is, because it was marketed to you in such a way that you're thrown off by what you got. This is, a spicy food. And some of us have different levels of comfort when it comes to a spicy food. And what for one person is tame, for another person is a lot. It's a lot. And some of it just depends on your familiarity. Some of it just depends on your own tolerance levels, right? What tastes good to you and what is way too much. And it's just, none of those levels are bad. But it's important when you are recommending it to someone else for you to know what their level of comfort is with it. This is marshmallow fluff. It's marshmallow fluff with strawberries, and you take a bite and you realize it also has a cheesecake component to it. Possibly the greatest thing of all time. Possibly the greatest thing that you can put in your mouth. So you thought you were gonna like it in the first place, but little did you know the greatness, the absolute magnificence that was gonna be in that fluff. And you liked it so much more than you thought you would, and it's your favorite. It's your favorite of all time. Nobody can tell you different. If they don't like it, they are wrong. And you're just like, you can't wait to tell people, but wait, did you know that there's cheesecake flavor in it? Greatness. It's greatness. This is like if your only experience with Mexican food is having Taco Bell, and then you go to a authentic restaurant and you realize that you did not even know the realm of possibilities that existed. You didn't know that this was an option. You didn't know that this type of depth of flavor existed in the world. You might still like that Taco Bell version, if you will. But if you're craving this, then Taco Bell's not gonna cut it. Nobody does it. Nobody does it like they do. Fun fact, my dad's first burrito was from a vending machine. And he thought it was like absolutely delicious. And last but not least, this is watermelon, which is incredibly delicious. But then you get close to the rind and it starts tasting like cucumber. And that's not what we signed up for. We don't even like raw cucumber, much less in our watermelon. And so you were enjoying your time, and then like that last little bit didn't really taste that good. It wasn't great. You're a little sad to end on that note because we lost the plot. It wasn't good. It wasn't that, this part great, that part not good. It wasn't good. And sadly, that's the note that you end on. So I'd love to know if you think that any of these were accurate, and I'd also love to know if for some reason you now want to read one of these books based on my my analysis. Thank you again to Laura for the idea. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.